What's going on, everybody?
What's up, everybody?
All right, so last month, me and my family got back from our Alaskan cruise.
That's awesome.
And we were away for 9 days from San Antonio. And so,
dang.
yeah, we actually had to take two separate flights to get to Seattle. For the first flight, we went from San Antonio to Denver, Colorado.
Oh, nice.
And we could actually see some mountains in the distance.
oh, yeah.
And
I've been there.
yeah, and then we then took another Southwest flight and took us to Seattle, and we could see a whole bunch of snow which covered the mountains everywhere.
Oh, wow.
And
I've never been there.
and then we landed in Seattle, and there were a bunch of tall trees, you know. And
I bet.
and the next day, my dad had an old friend that he hadn't seen in like 50 years or so. And
In Seattle?
yeah, my dad actually showed us some of the things that he liked to do in his childhood, along with Keith and also his home. And they actually,
Keith's home or your dad's home?
my dad's home.
Oh, so your dad grew up in
Seattle.
Oh, that's cool.
One time, when we were at his childhood house, we could see this tall tree, and when they planted it, they used it as a Christmas tree. But but now it's like 40 feet tall.
Yeah.
So the next day, we then got on the cruise ship. It was Ovation of the Seas.
Ooh, fancy. I've been on Carnival cruises, but I've never been on like Ovation of the Seas.
Yeah, Royal Caribbean.
It's Royal Caribbean.
Yeah, Royal Caribbean has lots of ships that have of the seas.
Yeah.
There was a total of 16 decks on the ship. Our rooms that we stayed in were on the third deck, and
Oh, so kind of pretty low.
yeah, and we could see the water pass by us. And at the front of the ship, there was this big theater thing that I forget what it's called.
Like an
but-
auditorium or something?
yeah,
Where they do like plays and
Yeah.
musics and stuff like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And at the very back, there was like this huge set of windows where you could see the water and everything just go by you, and then they had a little miniature stage where they would have some artists
That's
play.
cool.
Up on deck 14, there was a pool deck.
Yeah.
But nobody was using the outdoor pool because it was very cold outside. But everybody was using the indoor pools, of course.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and there was also an adults area next to it.
That's cool.
It's at like the very front of the ship.
Yeah.
And at the back of deck 14, there was also this huge eating area called the Windjammer. That's what it's called. Where you can like get different kinds of food and any kind of dessert that you'd like.
Yeah.
You know. My usual foods over there at the Windjammer were burgers and hot dogs. And they also had very good desserts there as well.
Nice.
And up on deck 15, there was this big running deck where you can like go for laps, you know. We left the dock like around 4. We were out on the water for a couple days.
Yeah.
And we went past some regions of Canada.
That's super cool.
Yeah. And the next day, the first place that we went to in Alaska was Sitka. It was kind of a small port there, and while we were in Sitka, we were taking a hike in the woods, and we could see totem poles and all those trees.
Interesting.
And then the second place that we went to was Skagway.
Skagway, never heard of it.
Yeah. So Skagway, it was kind of nice to be there. But it was also very rainy there. The wind was like beating on us, and what made it worse was it was raining, and it was very cold there. And,
Yeah. Dang.
before we got to our third Alaskan place, we were headed towards a glacier. I think it.
Dang.
I think it was Dawes Glacier.
Yeah.
And as we were approaching the glacier, we could see like a few big chunks that were scattered in the water, and also very small particles that were scattered everywhere. And then later, we actually got to see the glacier from a distance, because we actually had to be at a distance because there were so much pieces that were scattered everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was a very nice view.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah. And then our third and final Alaskan place that we went to was Juneau.
Yeah.
the capital.
Yeah.
And so,
Juneau.
yeah. And
Like Juneau.
when we left Juneau, our final stopping place was British Columbia, Canada. We didn't really do anything in British Columbia. We just stayed on the ship. But another thing in British Columbia is that it's like a bus ticket to go downtown is like $13 per person.
Dang.
And then we went back to Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
And the sun rises at a completely different time, and it's very
Is
unusual.
it 5 a.m.?
4 a.m.
Dang. In Japan, it's 5. That's crazy. Yeah.
And with that being said, I got some souvenirs.
Yeah, let's check them out.
All right, so these are all fridge magnets.
Ooh.
All right, so these 3 fridge magnets were from the 3 respective places that we went to in Alaska.
Yeah.
All right, so this one is from Sitka, our first place that we went to.
Oh, you can see us in there.
Yeah. And
That's
here's
cool.
here's the second one. That's from Skagway.
Ooh, Alaska. That looks like Alaska.
Yep. And here's the last one's from Juneau.
Juneau. Wow, that was cool. It's got the bears on it. See that there? Sick. Awesome.
Yep. And so, yeah. So what do you think of all the stuff that we did?
Yeah, sounds like a fun trip. Sounds like y'all had fun, and sounds like it was a little bit cold. But
definitely.
yeah, sounds like y'all had a good time. Yeah.
Yeah.
awesome.
When it's at night, the temperature like drops down to the 30s.
My goodness.
I mean, it's in the middle of May, you know.
Oh gosh, that's true. I didn't even think of that. Dang. Yeah, these are awesome though. Yeah. Did you have fun?
Yeah, I did.
Nice. Glad you had fun.
Yeah. So, yeah, we hope you have enjoyed that video, and we hope you have enjoyed some of the footage that you just watched. And so, take care, everybody.
Adios.